Ukraine is a great land of opportunity, has over 40 million people. It's free and independent now, and we'd like to see some of the great potential here turned into reality.
An important country in Central and Eastern Europe. It's a large consumer market. This is a country of important industrial groups and full of interesting resources which are to be well explored, and in the end it's an opportunity for everybody.
A land of opportunities, but of risk as well.
Ukraine is an opportunity. Generally speaking, it offers a higher yield, and obviously that's the result of the slightly higher risk. It's not a market for the faint-hearted.
Ukraine is for us, the first and foremost, Euro 2012.
Ukraine means for me a wonderful country. It's a wonderful countryside and a country at the heart of Europe. And I think that Ukraine is now one of the strategically most important countries in Europe.
Ukraine is and remains a pervasively corrupt country, and so far we are not seeing any serious attempt to control corruption.
First, it has one government rather than two fighting against each other, which is a good potential there. But second, it has an excellent geo-economic location between two huge markets, Russia and the European Union, and so it should be able to profit from having good integration with both.
The Ukraine is, first reaction, largest of the former Soviet republics. I associate it with being the closest to being West European in terms of culture, attitudes, look and feel of the place.
Ukraine is a country that I've never been to myself, but I've heard a lot about it. I know that the capital is Kiev, I know that there's a thriving technical community there and a great university.
Ukraine is an Eastern European nation, and as far as I know, it became independent after the dissolution of the former Soviet Union. That's all I know.
The Ukrainian situation is a country in the making, is a country in evolution. But Ukraine, I think, will always be a bridge between those Western countries, the Western Europe and the Eastern Europe. And I think that is what makes Ukraine so special.
Ukraine was an unknown unknown, and now it's more of a known unknown. Ukraine is not on the top of the list for countries they would like to invest, unfortunately.
Well, Ukraine is now a country that has gone through the financial crisis. It has come out of a crisis, and the question today is whether Ukraine will get a growth rate of 4 or 5% because of too much corruption and too little structural reform, or if it will undertake serious structural reform and therefore get up to a growth rate of 8%, which is where Ukraine should be.
I heard two things about Ukraine recently, one good and one bad. One good is that all the stadiums for the European Championship in football are to be ready on time. And the bad thing is I just heard that the government is going to regulate prices for flour.
Well, I think it's the dispute between Ukraine and Russia regarding the pipeline for gas.
Last news I heard was that Ukraine, particularly Kiev, is becoming such a popular destination for technology companies.
The big news, the next European Championships, and I say that from both a personal perspective as a football fan.
Last month it was the first anniversary of the new president and the new government in power. So most of the press, the business press, even The Economist, they had a full-page article on Ukraine. And the focus was that Ukraine is turning eastwards.
I heard that the Ukrainian government is planning to build a Formula One racetrack in the capital. That's very funny news. It costs lots of money, I heard.
I think if one has already started and they've already got their foot in Ukraine and are investing, I would never recommend for them to sort of pack their bags and leave.
Ukraine is a smile.